Hi, today I want to talk to you about something I'm so passionate about sharing because I believe that it can help so many people, like it helped me. So, the topic is, how can you be happy from having nothing? How can you be happy on the basis of no expectations? Like, how do you be happy when you're at the lowest point in life, when you have nothing? And I really took a long time to learn this skill, and I really think that it's a skill that you can learn once you realize what I'm about to tell you. Now I'm going to talk about some areas that I was poor in, and to me that's what contributed to my main unhappiness. And you can tell me if you relate to any of these, and you will know that maybe it's also the reason why you're feeling unhappy. So, I have a lot of family issues. Growing up, there were no stability in my family dynamic, and I've always watched my mom and dad fight growing up, like as young as I can remember. Like even when I was a toddler, they always fought. I didn't have that loving ideal married parent experience where it feels like you always have them to depend on, and whatever happens you can just go to them. I didn't really have that. They weren't really emotionally available. My dad was just out of the equation basically. He had a new family, but my mom, she really struggled mentally because she had to raise me and my sister in a foreign country that my dad set us up in, which she did not want to go to in the first place. So I would say that's one of the things that I really think contributed to my unhappiness. And another thing is lacking in purpose. And I saw like a Harvard study on this where a Harvard professor said that it's a lot easier to be happy when you feel like you have a purpose. And for me now, the purpose is God. Whether you're religious or not, I feel like having a purpose is really important to finding your happiness, because it's what gets you up in the morning every day, and it makes you feel like what you're doing every single day has a meaning, like it's contributing to what you value and the life that you eventually want to create for yourself. So compared to my current situation, so let me tell you about my current situation, and then I'll tell you why I'm so much happier despite my current situation. I am really, really struggling right now. Like, I cannot find a job right now, but I still have to pay all my living expenses, my rent, my tuition for the next 3 years in university. But it's not getting to me. I'm still very, very happy. And I'll tell you why later. And also because of my family situation, like I basically have no more contact with my dad anymore. And yeah, it makes me really, really sad and emotional when I think about it. But like, things are going to happen in your life, and it's your decision to think about it in a helpful perspective to you or in a not helpful perspective, which is what I used to think. I used to think that like my life is so horrible, like why are these things happening to me? I basically don't have a dad in my life anymore. I don't have any support financially. It's so hard to find a job. Like how am I gonna support myself? Like where am I gonna live next year? What am I gonna eat? But I'll talk more about my mindset later. But also currently I'm trying so hard to find a part-time job while I do school and also apply for scholarship, but I need to get really good grades, so like obviously I need to work very hard for that, and I basically don't have a social life anymore, but it's okay. And also however, I think that the past year in my life has been the best past year ever in my whole entire life, despite my situation. And I realized that because I've made so many new friends ever since going to university, like I really changed my perspective on friendship. It's no longer about how good they are, how good of a person they are. Like I want to be friends with the best people, like the most privileged, like people who have it all. It's about just meeting people where they're at, like seeing people as they are and accepting them and valuing your friendship and time with them and valuing every single moment and every single person. Because when God said that every single moment is a gift, it's so true. Like it will change your life when you realize that. And also it's because I changed my perspective on happiness, and this is the key that I really want to talk about. It's about changing your denominator, your expectation. So let's say, okay, your happiness is a 1 out of 10, okay? Your denominator right now is a 10, and you might need more money, more friends, better grades, better family, and more clothes to be happy. But I changed my denominator basically from a 10 to a 3. Now I just think to myself, I have a loving mom. Like she is always there for me, even though I'm across the world, but she's always there to pick up my call. I have my friends. It's not about the quantity, it's about having the closest friends that are always there for me. Like they really understand me as a person, and talking to them is like talking to a family member, and I am so grateful for that. And also just the fact that I know what I want in life now. Like I know my purpose and I have a direction in life. Like just having these 3 things makes me so happy. And whenever I feel down, I would think about it and think about how it's really not about chasing the next best thing. It's about choosing to be happy. Like I choose to be happy every single day because I know that life is so short, and happiness really doesn't come from those external things, as I've learned from my childhood. Like I have experienced it all, like 5-star hotels, vacations, like they really didn't give me happiness. And these are the things that did. Meaningful relationships, friendships, connecting with others, not valuing external things, living each day as they come. Like just take it step by step. Know that like happiness is basically a choice. Like if you just listen to God's word of saying every day is a gift, and you are already enough. You're perfect exactly where you are right now in life, and everything happens for a reason. Like all the struggles you may be going through right now, they're for your own good. In the future, it's all gonna go to your experience. You're gonna learn from it. You're gonna become so much better of a person, and you're gonna be so proud of yourself that you did, instead of being unhappy in the moment. Like if you think about it, it's so beautiful. Like every single moment in your life is building up to the next, and every challenge is a learning experience. It's like if your life is a storybook, like you know how like those storybooks where like the character goes through something dramatic and then they become like so much better, but like if they never went through that thing, they could have never been who they are today. Like that's the same thing to you, for you as well. So that's what makes life so beautiful. So yeah, And one last thing is I want to talk about the main reasons that makes us unhappy. So we need to stop being time travelers. We spend so much time worrying about the future, reflecting on our past, which may be a good thing from time to time, but you don't want to be wasting your life away, like just worrying about the future and reflecting on the past. You need to be living your life now. Stop wasting your life. Be in the present. Like today I was on the bus and I was like, wow, like what a beautiful day. Like the sun is out. Like thank God for the sunny weather. Like the sun shining on my skin feels so nice. And even though I'm just sitting on the bus, I tell myself to enjoy the moment because every moment is a gift. And also avoid social media scrolling, especially avoid those influencers who always like, show like you need this thing, you need that thing, like I'm living such a good life. I mean, if you are not prone to comparing yourself to others, then it may be okay. But if you're someone like me or anyone else, I would say like a lot of people would feel bad about themselves or feel like they need something, they need more in life to be happy. Like social media and comparison makes you want more, and that's the key to unhappiness. So I would say like the old saying of comparison is the thief of joy, like it's so true, and social media just like drastically like enhances that effect. So avoid that at all cost. Anyways, I'm not very good with making videos, but I hope this video was helpful. Like I'm so enthusiastic about this topic and I really hope that you got something useful from this video. Have a good day. So my story is that I actually grew up pretty privileged. Like I went to private schools all throughout primary, middle, and high school, and we lived in the wealthier parts of the country, and I was lucky enough that my parents let me stay at a pretty well-off area in like it's super safe, and we lived in like a pretty like high-end apartment where we had a nice view, we had like so much stuff, and I would say that money-wise I was really rich, but in other sense I wasn't, and I will get into that later. But yeah, we were middle to high income class. We never had to worry about meals ever. We ate comfortably, which I'm so grateful for now that I think about it. But back then, I know I definitely didn't appreciate it as much as I should have. And also something that I'm super grateful for is that I really struggled with my mental health growing up. And my parents gave me the access to see a psychiatrist and therapist whenever I needed. And wow, like that is such a privilege to be able to have someone there for you mentally. And like not everyone has the access to that, so if you do have the access to that, like I'm so happy for you. Like just know that it's such a big privilege, and I'm also super grateful for that. However, what I really regret growing up was that I was like not appreciative enough of everything my parents gave me. Like just looking around me, because I went to the schools where the families were generally pretty well off, so like all my friends, they had like even better things than I did. So I was so unhappy. Like I remember being at one of the lowest points in my life, even though I had all those things. And to those of you who may see things like these online, like people living in those like nice houses and stuff like that, just know that there's always another story behind the screens. Because I often like posted on social media about like going on vacation, staying at 5-star hotels, but I promise you, like the unhappiest I've ever been. And now I would say I'm the happiest I've ever been, but our family situation have completely shifted. Like it went from like here, now we're like down here, and I will get onto that later, and how I still am able to achieve this amount of happiness. Another thing I really regretted was just still comparing my life to other kids. And obviously, well, the way I grew up, my family, we are not religious, and you know, we're just a normal Asian family. Like I wasn't taught anything about like gratitude or just like what true happiness is and where it comes from. So I had to like go out and look for it myself. So I always thought that, you know, the reason why my friends are happier is because they have more things and they have more friends. Friends could be a source of happiness, but for me it was like judging people in terms of like external things, like how popular they are, how pretty they are, how privileged they are, and it's so horrible, and it just led me down the wrong path. So yeah, basically I was at the lowest point in my life in terms of happiness because I did not know the things that I'm about to tell you now. And I would say that in pursuit of those things that I thought would give me happiness, like I would go on these like shopping sprees, treat myself to designer things. Like I will occasionally get like designer bags, designer clothes and shoes, and like it gave me this fake sense of happiness, and it was so temporary. I know everyone says this, but it's so true. Like I've been there, and I would say I was only like 16, 17, so like I didn't know better, but I had to experience it to learn from it. Like those things are so temporary. Like I was so empty inside. Like I'm just constantly looking for the next best thing to give me happiness, and I was so lost. Anyways, so that's my experience with temporary happiness. And on top of that, I would say something that was really lacking for me was fulfilling relationships with my family and also friends in my life. I was so introverted when I was growing up. I still am. I don't think that changed, but I was also dealing with extremely low self-esteem. So that led me to having like basically just like one or two really close friends from school, but even then I didn't feel like they were people who I could like openly talk to about my struggles with, or just be completely like myself with. And that is so important when it comes to finding fulfilling relationships. So that's also another reason why I felt so unhappy in my life.